go, let them grow. Let them go, let them grow.
Welcome.
You did good. I like that intro.
Yeah, just had to use a generic song so that we don't get flagged for it again.
That's right. Oh my gosh, I kept getting so many notifications. We got one person in here. Y'all drop us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from before we get started. We got Goldie here today.
What's up, folks? Let's talk.
And we should have all of our connections back. We've got check marks on all of our pages tonight. So,
yay.
Let us know if you're on YouTube, which Facebook page you're on.
And if you're feeling froggy, share it out.
Yes, please.
We got 6 in here.
There we go. Hey, V. Catch Fish with Us is watching us. So I guess we've got 6 people. We can go ahead and start since we are kind of limited on time. So I am Ashley with Last Call Catfishing.
Oh my goodness. I'm Julie with Running Gun Catfishing. And today we have
Goldie with Goldfish Charters, Goldfish TV.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. And I've already got a comment that I just can't let go. We were just talking about him earlier. It says, I can't stay, but I want y'all to know that Goldie is the sexiest man in Maysville.
Oh, man. That's a compliment. I appreciate it. Oh, man. Hit me on my inbox later. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
But I think he's just trying to get you to come fish Rising Sun. He's just kissing your butt.
Oh, that's okay. I know where that comment came from. I fished it last year, and I will be back, man. It's one of my favorite tournaments. I love Rising Sun. I love the big guy with the bibs.
Always with the bibs.
Oh, he always got the bibs on, and that's like a staple. He's got to have the bibs on.
That's right.
Yeah, I love that tournament. I fished it maybe 4 or 5 times, and it was one of the first tournaments I ever fished.
Yep. Do you consider that sorry, Jules, go ahead.
You're good. I was just saying that's also one of Charlie's favorite. He's gone for years, and
yeah.
I don't know why, because that's Steven, man. Whew.
Oh man, yeah, he's special, man. Now he has always welcomed me, shown me love since the first time I met him, and like the tournament, the whole atmosphere. I mean, you walk around and everybody's friendly and introducing themselves, and I've made a ton of fishing friends from that tournament alone. So yeah, I love it.
It's a good one for sure.
Yep. Do you consider that like your home waters?
No, I don't. I consider it above Medall, my home waters. I really don't fish that area a lot, to be honest with you. Rising Suns is I fished there, and maybe one other tournament I fished in that water, but I haven't fished that water a lot at all. So I just consider it above Medall, my home waters, if you want to call it.
Hey, Tony, Richard, TJ, thanks guys for popping on.
So look, before we get into it, I like to give people their flowers too. Boots on the water. Like you guys deserve. I'm not saying you don't get credit, but I think you deserve way more credit than you get. I don't know if people recognize or realize the amount of time and effort that you guys put into it for the veterans, and so I salute you guys for that. I think that's a huge deal, and I always try to make it. Sometimes a conflict of schedule might hold me up, but if I can make it there, every chance I get, I'll be there. I think it's a great event.
Well, we really appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem.
We're going to try to do some smaller events like throughout the state this year, like 10 veterans or less and various lakes and stuff. So as we get a meeting going here with our board members to kind of talk about that and what areas we think would be best, I will definitely let you all know because I know a lot of people have been asking. So
Yeah, cut me in. Like I said, if the dates line up, then I will be there for sure. For sure.
That would be great.
Yep. So why don't you tell us what got you into fishing? Like, how'd you get your start?
So I'm from a river town. I was born and raised probably less than half a mile from the river. So I mean, it's kind of, if you're from a town like that, as a kid, once somebody takes you fishing a time or two, uh, you either love it or you don't. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I probably started fishing. I'm gonna say I was probably around 7 or 8 years old, fishing for bluegill and carp and stuff like that, in the backwaters off of the river.
Mm-hmm.
So I was born on the river, but we had a backwater. I was about a half a mile away from the rivers, but we had a backwater that kind of backed up right to the street that I lived on. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to hardly go anywhere except climb down a hill, and I could fish in the backwaters from the river and catch carp and bluegill and stuff like
That's
that.
nice.
It was just accessible, something to keep me occupied, and I just, as the saying goes, got hooked at an early age.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
then you got into tournament fishing too, right? You do some tournaments.
Yeah, I do. I've started to. How's my battery running low? It was just plugged up. It's all right. I'm gonna grab a charger.
Go ahead.
So yeah, I got into tournament fishing about 3 or 4 years ago. Not real serious. Tournament here, tournament there. But now I plan to do a lot more. I really enjoy the competition. And it's not, to me, I'm not the kind that'll cry if I lose. I'm more of a, I'll be back next year, give it a better shot again, pat the winner on the back and, do it that kind of way. So it's not I'm competitive, but not to the point that it's a negative thing. So yeah, I'll really get into the tournament fishing.
That's good. It's a way to be in a tournament. I would say if you're there because you need the money, you better save your money and don't go.
That's
and
right.
if you're a sore loser, it's not a place because you're going to get your butt beat.
Yes.
There's
gracefully.
some bad mother things out there. There's some guys that are just phenomenal.
And I mean, with the turnout at tournaments, the odds are not in anyone's favor lately. You know what I mean? These 100 boats, 187 boats. You know what I'm saying? The odds are not in your favor to win. So if you're hung up on making sure you win everything,
But I say you just one bite away from winning all the time.
Absolutely.
Just one bite away. And,
but it's like the lottery. You're
as long as you're in it, you're in it. You got to show up and work hard and actually give it a real good effort, and you have a chance.
Oh yeah, you can absolutely, but it's it's not going to be easy for anyone.
Right.
Yep.
1 second, ladies. So I don't lose my.
Yeah, you're fine. Y'all, if you just hopped in, let us know where you're watching from. We got East Tennessee Whiskers. How are you? Mark House in the house. He's in Michigan. I know that. Y'all, I'm fighting some congestion here, so you got to bear with me today.
All right, we're good.
Michael Greenwell, how are you? Kentucky in the house.
Is that my buddy Greenwell? I can't see. He's on here. Actually,
he's in. Yeah, we're streaming on 5 different accounts. Yeah, he's in here. Michael Greenwell, how are you? Kentucky.
Now I can see the comments.
I know her.
So what
Greenwell? I'm gonna fish with Greenwell in a couple tournaments this year. I have fished with him in a tournament. I don't remember what we fished. What did we fish, Greenwell? We fished together in one tournament last year. But yeah, Greenwell, heck of a fisherman.
Yep. He is.
Charles.
Hi, Bobby.
What is your favorite tournament? I know we talked about Rising Sun a little bit when we first hopped on here, but is that your favorite of all of the tournaments?
You can get me in trouble.
We won't tell Steven.
So listen, once you get the experience of the Mississippi River Monsters, I don't think anybody in their right mind would say that that's not top of their list.
Yeah, hands down.
Yep.
it's an experience. You know, it's not just a term. It's an experience, man. So I'm gonna have to say I'm Mississippi River Monster. Vicksburg is now my favorite tournament. You know, I love the local
whole production.
Like I said, I'm from Maysville, Kentucky. Yeah, the production is everything. I mean, when you come through and the music's playing and the lights are flashing and the smoke's going.
And the community attendance is outrageous. I about got trampled. I went this year and like 2025 and 24. 24, those kids about took me out. I just went to live stream the whole thing. And so that's how I met Dry Creek Marine. I was like, hey, do you care if I stream from your boat today? Because I about got killed the night before, and he was kind enough to let me use the boat that was there and was streaming off of that. But yes, those kids go crazy.
They were screaming my name when I came through there. I had no
like
clue.
An audience.
I know who I was.
Watching famous people. Yes, it was amazing. So.
It was great. It makes you feel very important. And
yes, they even wanted your dirty, slimy gloves. They didn't care what they were getting, and they were just going crazy.
So I didn't bring anything. Like I said, this is my first time fishing that tournament, and I didn't really bring things to pass out. But those kids, I had to promise them. I said, "Look, now next year, if you guys are here, I will have all kinds of stuff. I will have."
So pro tip:
my fish
angler going down there, keep some stuff you can throw out because they are expecting it.
They're definitely expecting.
We did that. We bought stuff just to take so I could throw out to the kids because the first year we didn't have anything either. Yeah. And like the Airbnb that we stayed in, like she brought me over necklaces and stuff to throw to them. Like you're right. Like it is just it's the production and the environment.
Production. And you're fishing the mighty Mississippi. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Some big bags come through there. So, you know, it's not like you're bringing in, 30 and 40 pound fish. You know, we had Micah, and then they brought in 100 pound. Somebody brought in 100 pounder on the first day. I believe.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So it's
crazy.
Big fish, big presentation, all that mixed together. It was phenomenal. It was hot.
And very hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first year, I think it was rainy and
cold.
But the second year was hot.
It was hot.
The first year was wild because they didn't even do the parade. It was raining so bad, right? The boat parade or whatever. Like the first year that I went, I didn't go in 2023, but so their second event, I was like, daggone, it's cold here.
Oh no.
Yeah, because before we went, Jess told me, he was like, you're gonna be hotter than you've ever been before. So I packed all shorts and tank tops, and it was like in the low 60s and rained every day.
Oh no, yeah.
So last year,
that might have been good conditions compared to this year.
Yeah. So then he told me that again this year, and I was like, "Remember last year?" And he's like, "That was a fluke, I promise." And it was
that's not the norm.
So hot.
Yeah, it was extremely hot. Second day 2, I think it was 100 degrees. I think so.
So Bobby Parker's, what is it?
Go ahead.
Oh, Bobby Parker's got a question. Going to try start fishing rivers this year. Do you guys catch more fish anchored or drifting? And I think that's a really good question to ask.
Okay. For me,
what do you?
Yep.
I catch more fish anchored. So this is a tough question for me. I'm a dragging guy. You know anything about me? If the situation or the elements allow, 9 times out of 10 you'll catch me dragging baits. So the other 2 methods are second and third to me. I don't drift a lot. I anchor more because usually if I'm anchoring, I'm trying to catch a flathead or, like I said, it's just the weather. I catch more fish anchored, but I have friends and other people that will do the actual opposite. They'll catch a lot more drifting, but it depends on what you do the most. You know what I mean?
And I think the conditions too. It's not always the right conditions to drift, or it's better if you're in a lake and there is no current, like dragging. We drag baits. That's what you're going to want to do.
Yeah, you can drift with your trolling motor. You actually can still, it's not even drifting. I guess you're controlled drifting, with your troll motor. But I agree with you. No current. You're going to have to. You don't have to, but you're going to want to drag. It's going to be tough to anchor. It's going to be tough to drift, and you said, the elements sometimes tell you what you have to do. Yes,
and the third method that were you talking about bumping? Is that what one of your third method was bumping?
Yeah. Well, he only asked about those two.
Yeah.
So
bumping is amazing on the Mississippi, as Miss Cindy said. Man. If you've never bumped and you've got current, y'all, just give it a try. Just try your best. You just got to get that trolling motor dialed in, get at the right speed, and just bump.
And the right weight is very, very important to have the right size weight. Once you get that all figured out, bumping is like bass fishing.
Top tier. Yes.
Catfish bass fishing, I call it.
That's right. It is interactive. You never sit down. Yes, well, you can on a bucket, but you're never empty-handed. You're going to sit there and you're going to bump, and it is not conducive for live streaming. I do it, but I hit Charlie in the head when I do it, and he doesn't like that. Because I'm looking at the camera like this. But yeah, it's bumping.
And pay attention, because when the fish bites, it'll about pull the rod out of your hand.
It will about pull your rod out of your hand. And if it's a big fish, it might about pull you to the edge of the boat.
And don't try and set the hook, because you will not catch the fish. You got to reel down. You got to have self-control to not do this and just do this, because you'll lose a fish every time trying to pull it. Just because of, reaction.
There's definitely an art to bumping, but once you figure it out, it is very addictive. So I can't call it my favorite way to fish, because I don't get to do it as often. In my area, bumping is really not a thing. We never have enough current to really both of you guys fish where I fish, it's not a lot, but when I travel and I go to Alabama, Tennessee, hit the dam areas and stuff like that, or Mississippi River, it's automatic. You at least want to bump for, half a day or something. And it's very, very, very addictive. My brother, Mr. Steve Douglas, gave me my first real experience in bumping, man.
Lucky you.
We had fun. Yeah, shout out to Steve, man. Prayers for
we're all praying for Steve.
Good health and everything. But that's my buddy, and he's actually taught me a lot, man. So big shout out to Steve Douglas.
Yep. I think anybody that watches catfishing knows Steve Douglas. Like that's pretty much who we learned so much from on YouTube, watching his videos when we first got started, over and over and over.
I didn't even have a boat when I was watching Steve,
Yeah.
And I'm learning tactics of how to fish from a boat like he is, and I didn't even have a boat. I never fished out a boat in my life, but I was watching Steve. I mean, he's that big in the catfish industry to me. So he is part of the reason that, again, I got into the river fishing as deep as I did, because I was watching his videos.
Yeah. And that's how I think so many people have learned, especially like different techniques, because I can't imagine like how else you would even find out about doing the dragging. And, somebody created it, sure. And it can't, but now, there's so many resources for free. Teach us that you can't like go wrong just watching YouTube.
Correct.
And going out and trying it.
And nobody, fishermen had secrets. A fisherman would lie to you in a heartbeat if you ask him where and how he caught what he caught. You know what I mean? He's not going to give you that information. Well, Steve put it out there for everybody to have a level playing field to say, hey, you're looking for ledges, you're looking for this. This is where you want to, you know what I mean? He made it okay. He made it okay to give the information to others to make everybody, catch more fish and want to fish more. So like I said, I give him props on a number of levels for, like him or not, he done a lot for this.
He sure did.
Still doing, by the way.
Yep, for sure. So you fish the Ohio River. We talk a lot on this show about conservation. Like, what can you tell us about like the commercial fishing and the decline that we keep hearing about in the Ohio River?
So I'm scared. Here's the bad things. I'm scared to say this because they might come back. I feel like it's kind of starting to get a little better again.
That's okay. That's what we want to hear. What your experiences are.
We don't want to tell the commercial fishermen, hey, come back.
So it's doing awful. You can't find it.
This fishing's terrible. We can't find any fish, but it's getting better. It was pretty bad several years ago, and I think that is solely due to the harvest from commercial fishermen. I'm big on conservation myself. I run a charter business. We don't keep anything under 15 pounds, and I still encourage them not to keep those. If we can get them under 10, I'll encourage, if you want to take a few to eat, cool. But if you're not going to eat them under 10, 15 pounds, then we're putting them back. We're trying to put them back as healthy as we got them out. That's huge for me. I've caught a couple really nice fish in these waters, and I want other people to have a chance to catch the same fish, or myself, or my kids. I want to catch it again. Caught a 63-pound flathead a couple years ago. I haven't heard or seen a picture that looked like that fish again, but I know he's out there and somebody will catch him. I just believe conservation is a huge part of keeping this sport alive right now.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
And you said something about tournament fishing that I just want to reiterate. If you're not going to a tournament to congratulate the person that won when you didn't win, that's the problem with catfishing, I feel like, and fishing in general. Everybody's so competitive that you don't want to support each other. And in this conservation fight, we all have to be on the same page. We all have to support each other. And, commercial guys blame it on all of us anglers that are fishing, and recreational anglers blame it on tournament fishing, and tournament fishing, it's just the cycle. Nobody wants to take the blame for it, and we have to all stick together on that.
Right. It costs $0 to pat somebody on the back.
Yep.
It's an ego thing. Set your ego down for a second and say, "Hey, man, congratulations." You can go if you need to pout and do all. You can later go in private and pout about it and kick cans and whatever. But be man enough to say, "Hey, you were a better person today. Congratulations," or good job. And
yep, absolutely.
It's ultimately fishing. Fishing is supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be something that's relaxing and good for the soul. And when it gets to the, if I don't win, I'm going to, take my boat and go home and not speak to anybody, then it's not as fun anymore. Yeah. I enjoy the competition. If I won every time I did something, it wouldn't be exciting. Getting this close, like Vicksburg, you get that close and that just fuels the fire to make you want to do it again, do it more,
Yep.
So.
Absolutely.
How you doing, Steve? I think I seen Steve hopped on here.
You did.
Yeah.
He said good job.
I just got done talking about you, Steve. You're going to have to rewind it. Yeah.
But I know this year when we went to Bama Blues, Twisted Cat did an amazing job with that tournament this year. They're trying to make it a top tier tournament with the amount of anglers and stuff that they bring in. We talked about the fireworks and stuff, the lights and everything at Mega Bucks. They did all of that stuff, this year at Bama Blues. They did a great job with it. And that's the best part of it, is at the end of it, being there to see the people who were in the top 10 get their awards. And when they brought up the winners for Kevin Childers and his team, they played "We Are the Champions" and did fireworks. It was so cool. We weren't even in there, but it was just really cool getting to see them and their smiles and how excited they were.
I really wanted to fish that tournament, but I'm currently building a house, and the circumstances, it just wasn't. I couldn't make it this year, but I watched every bit of it. The show was great. Looked like it was a very well put on tournament. And like you said, the end of it with the music and all that stuff, it was great. Congratulations, by the way, to the winners. I know Sakoti and those guys got second.
Yeah,
and
I saw that. We did watch it. We were down in Louisiana, so we didn't get to go. But I definitely saw it was different than last year for sure. It looked great.
It looked great.
Yeah.
Anybody got any questions?
V has a comment here we'll put up, except they really need to watch dropping fish. Yeah, I feel like that's every tournament.
I agree.
Especially the big fish are hard to hold if they start flopping around on you. But them little ones, they got the pokey fins and.
I got my butt whooped in Louisiana. I'm talking a bruise
because you can't. We go out there. Yeah, we work so hard to catch those fish. We have to pick them up and get that photo op. And we got, it's like those tournaments. You got to show the crowd, and some of those fish, man,
they're mean.
You know, it's
Listen,
always
they're
an accident,
slippers.
but some of those fish are mean, and depending on how well your live well is, if you got a really good live well, you got oxygen and all that stuff, man. Sometimes you pull those fish out of there, and they're all over the place. They're hard to.
You got to watch those dark blue ones too. They just got an extra sparkle of meanness that they're coming for you. Mouth open. They do not care. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're tough.
We ran into some mean ones down in Louisiana. It was. Woof.
I agree.
I've never been hit so hard.
I agree with the drop, and maybe the only way to help that is maybe a little more knowledge on how to handle them. You know, but I don't think you can not handle them. That makes sense.
I mean, you
can't happen.
Yeah.
You try to limit how much it happens. You know, I personally have not dropped a fish like that in that situation, but I've been darn close and taking me all the way down to one knee to try to, try to save it, but it happened.
And I think like a lot of the smaller trails, they might not really think about that because you see people at these smaller tournament trails, just carrying their fish up to the scales.
Yeah.
Like we need to do better. We need to take care of the fish.
That happened at a big trail too, and I was like, why are you walking so far? And I was going to run over and ask if they needed help after they dropped.
So that's one thing. So we were talking about tournaments, and then we're talking about conservation, we're talking about fish. So let's talk about that, the weigh-ins. All right. I am Steven. I love you. Rising Sun. I love you. But me and Mr. Steve Douglas fished that tournament together 2 years ago. And I think Steve's on here. He'll tell you. We had to pack our fish from the way far end of the other parking lot. It's a long walk to pack. And if you got a good bag, I mean, it's a heavy.
That's a lot. Yeah.
And it's a long walk. And to me, that's just a whole lot of time that the fish are out of the water. I'm huge on the drive-through weigh-ins. I mean, the fish stay in the water until you weigh them. You weigh them, take a picture, and they're right back in the water. I think that is like the best way to do it if possible. But if not, I think you still need to find a way where they can be closer to the weigh-in.
Yes.
When you pick your fish up. Does that make sense? Or have your golf carts or your people driving people with the fish, but to walk a quarter mile with a bucket of fish in the heat and then have to stand in line for 10 minutes with it, 15 minutes, it's tough on the fish and it's tough on the people, so after fishing all day, that was a nice haul. I have to pack.
Listen, Rising Sun, we got to shut a block down because I'm thinking in my head, okay, pull out, go around, do the drive through up top. You're just going to need a really long fish slide, but.
Yep. Or drive the fish down in the buggies. They always got buggies.
I don't know if you guys have ever fished the ice bowl, but that was probably one of the biggest things that we noticed right off the bat at the ice bowl last year, because they had over, I don't remember, it was like 180 something anglers, 183 I think, and they don't have totes until you get up to the stage to weigh in. So like you have to get your fish from your boat in the parking lot up on the hill. Like it was, like you're saying, like it was a long walk. We had our wagon, thankfully, so we just let water out of the live well. And it's only one fish, I get that. But still, when you're standing in line for 45 minutes to an hour, just standing there holding a fish, like we've said before, it takes less than 5 minutes of them being out of the water before they start to have brain damage.
Yep.
So, like there needs to be a way, I feel like, for these big tournaments and all of the tournaments to just do it.
You got 150, 200 boats, and you got to park, and then you got to transfer from where you park. That's it's tough. Not like I said, not singling out any one, because there's several tournaments that run that style. I just think that if you can, any way possible, and I think the drive-through weigh-ins are faster. Yeah, and there's more of a show. People nowadays, like myself, I know a lot of people see my boat.
Seeing boats is fun.
That's fun. People want to see the different boats that everybody nowadays has customized their boats. And
people have no idea the kind of boats that are out there when you hear catfishing. You know what I mean? Like there's so many cool, awesome, the wraps and the different rod racks and all the things that come with it, and people with their rods out if they're sponsored or whatever, affiliates, whatever. It's kind of a cool thing to see that too. So but
We'll look for Justin's comment here. Justin says Rising Sun has one of the worst weigh-ins in all of catfishing, and it's not even close. Ton of dead fish every year.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to pick on or do that to anybody. I like, obviously I said I like the tournament before. I just again would like the weigh-in to go
changes.
Yeah.
It's heavy for you. Just say it.
Making
just back hurts.
Changes. You figure out something's. Yeah.
But no, it would be cool to do a drive through with how many boats come out. It would be.
What's up, Justin? By the way, how you doing?
Jeremy, what's up? Got Creole catfish.
There's a comment for us. Are there any big catfish in the northern part of the Ohio River, or are they all in the southern part?
Yes, absolutely. I don't know what your definition of big catfish is, but my definition is anything in the 60s and 70s or above. Are there 100-pounders? I absolutely believe there are, but I just don't believe that there's a large numbers of 100-pounders. I believe for sure that I know for sure there's plenty of 60s and 70s. I do know that. I believe there are big fish in the northern part of the Ohio River. Yes, I do.
Have you ever
not
fished
as many,
the Kanawha?
It's not like I have not.
That was the second part of his. Was thinking about trying the Kanawha River where it meets the Ohio.
Haven't you guys fished that?
Yeah, we fished that area a few times. We've done some tournaments and stuff down there. We used to have a camper. We used to go down there and camp on the Kanawha River. There's some really good flatheads in the Kanawha. Obviously, you'd have to have a West Virginia fishing license for there, but there are some good fish down there as well. The Banks Cancer Research Tournament is down there. Is that May 31st, I think, is when they're doing it. So if you're looking for a tournament to try it out, that would be a good tournament to go.
So where do you live? Like, what kind of area do you live in?
Me?
Are you close to Virginia or closer to Cincinnati?
No, I am in, haven't you fished the tournament that Kevin has? Walters?
The
Manchester?
one at, like, uh-huh.
Julie?
Yeah. Am I frozen?
I live 20 miles from there. I'm in Maysville, Kentucky, which is
okay. Yeah, I know where that is.
And I'm about an hour from Cincinnati. Yeah, I'm about an hour from Cincinnati. You're in and out on my screen.
Oh.
Yeah, you're cutting out.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. We all struggle with that.
Am I better now? I did put my phone on airplane mode, so maybe that'll help. Okay. Yeah. But I know where that is. Exactly where that is. Charlie's from around there. Although I'm in Ohio. Okay.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he's from the Ohio side, and
I
spend my.
I don't know. Sometimes now that I live in Kentucky, I don't know which one's better.
Right. It's a toss-up for sure.
Kevin's in Alabama, he said.
Yeah, he's at that show.
Oh yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I seen him.
I should have been there.
He forgot to take a bunch of us with him.
Travis said, there we go. Only need a West Virginia license if you pass the Buffalo Bridge, in case anyone wants to know that.
Thanks, John.
Good information.
There we go.
Kevin says, hello, Goldie.
What's up, Kevin? Good luck down there. Sell a bunch of gear, buddy.
Creel's on all the platforms. You hit the wrong one.
Yeah.
So what tournaments are you planning to do this year? Do you have a few in mind that you're wanting to hit?
I like, I'm going to do a couple King Cat tournaments this year. I have not done any twisted tournaments. I plan to do one of them or a couple of them if I can get free, but I'm local River Rats. Shout out to River Rats, which is a local tournament here. I hopefully I can get more of those in this year. And I'm open. North Alabama, what's his name? My buddy, North Alabama Trail. Doug.
Doug Smith.
Yeah. I want to get into one of Doug's tournaments for sure, man. Yeah, North Alabama Catfish Trail, I believe it's called.
Yep.
That's cool. Hey, Craig.
But yeah,
Feels good.
just any tournament that comes up, and my schedule says I'm available. I'm going to try. Kerr, I'm really wanting to get my boat in Kerr Lake. I've never fished. Has any of you guys fished Kerr Lake?
That's where we fished last year for the ice bowl, and it was again another unusual circumstances because it was so cold, and some people had gave us some spots that weren't able to go last year but had fished it before, and we couldn't even get to those spots because the lake was frozen. So we were just kind of winging it. We had never been there before, and we didn't do bad. We finished 6th. We fished some ledges, some shallow ledges, and he found us a spot, and we caught I think it was a 53, I think is how big it was. If we'd had more time, we probably could have got a bigger one because they were just everywhere. Yeah. But yeah, we fished that. We wanted to go to the James from there, but we just had to get back home.
Yeah, real life gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah, it did. We left here. It was -15, and he was like, "Why are we going?"
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't quite that. It was like 38, 39 in Virginia when we got there. It was just so cold here. Somebody's asking about Jack.
Skipjack, he's good.
Yep.
Skipjack.
He's awful. Our dog, we have a basset hound, and we named him. My daughter was like, "Can we name him Jack?" And I was like, "What about Skipjack?"
So you named the dog Skipjack?
Yeah. He's rotten. He is so.
That's a fishing family if I've ever heard of. Name the dog Skipjack.
I thought about getting a second dog just to have a skip.
You can name the second dog Gizzard Shad.
Well, that'd be funny. Oh, Shad and Jack for sure.
Shad and Jack.
That'd be ate up.
Skip Jack.
Keyshawn needs a charter this year.
Come on. Oh, Keyshawn, how you doing, brother? I told you, give me a call. The charter, it is www.goldfishchartersky.com. Get on the website and send me a message, man. I'll definitely get you out there.
You said gold. I'm putting this in the comments so they can find it. Goldfish Charters.
KY. Goldfish Charters, KY.com.
Okay.
We stream on Run and Gun YouTube.
Have you ever fished Hoover in Columbus?
I have not. My boat's too big, from what I understand.
There's a comment here. I usually fish Hoover Reservoir. What would you say is the difference between river fishing and reservoir fishing as far as tactics and maybe some tricks that could help me?
Well, I've never fished Hoover because isn't there a boat?
There's a motor restriction. You have to have your prop. I think it's out of the water. Like if it's a big motor, we have to put it up. We just use the trolling motor.
Yeah, my boat's too big. I have not fished the Hoover. So I really can't answer that question without having experience in that. But in most reservoirs, current's not great. And most, so the difference for me, I would think, would be the current, in which I probably drag the Hoover if I could. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what we do when we go there. We drag.
Yeah. Of course, everywhere if I can.
Results.
I tell you what, I am going to do a lot more this year. I think I want to do a little more bank fishing.
Yeah.
That's where the roots of that's where it started. I got some friends that don't have boats and they're still bank fishing. So I think I'm going to spend a little bit of time doing some bank fishing in the off time this year. I just to get back to the grassroots of it and set up, campfires and enjoy the fishing in that way too. So,
yeah, you're gonna be a busy guy.
I am a busy guy. A lot. It's okay though. That's what I signed up for.
Yep.
Yeah, I had fun when I wasn't working, going down and trying to catch skipjack. I'd go live, and whatever, and that was kind of fun. But it taught me that I need to learn a lot more about how to go fishing. Because, see, I started fishing, at my dad's pond in the backyard when I was younger. And then when I graduated, I kind of stopped fishing altogether for a long time. And then after I graduated high school, my friend and I would go fishing at his pond or other ponds. And so I knew what I was doing. I was just going out and catching. I didn't care what it was, just whatever would buy. But I was able to tie my lures, put everything on. Well, after all this time, I haven't fished, since meeting Charlie and having kids and whatever. I didn't fish at all with him at all. I didn't want to because the kids are little. They don't want to sit still and wait on a catfish to bite, when he was learning the waters here. So when I try to go and catch skipjack on my own live, I'm like, I don't even know how to tie a freaking hook on, these rigs on. And so I try and do things that I've learned from Charlie since, doing all this fishing with him. And, it would work, but I just was like, dang, girl, you're rusty from the days, But
it's supposed to be like riding a bike. You're not supposed to forget anything about
you fishing. Would think, but geez, 18 years and you haven't really done it, when I was young, going and doing, you're kind of like, what's the right way to tie this hook on? Yeah. So I just tie a bunch of knots and keep throwing, hope for the best. But I've lost a couple doing that because they've come pulling off. So that was fun, though. It was a good time anyway.
Lose enough gear, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, oh yeah. Because that's
getting mad.
Not easy.
I'm doing wrong.
Yeah. So that's what falling in love and having kids does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once they got older, though, that's when I started fishing with them. It's just when they were little, and we, when we started, we didn't have a bimini top. We weren't,
Oh, I know. Trust me.
I'm like, I could be hiking in the woods, and not have to worry about them going overboard as toddlers. So I think I'm going to go do that. But
yeah, I think I started out I can't think of the name of that boat. It wasn't even a fishing boat. It was more like a pleasure boat. But put some fishing rods on or some rod holders on it and made it a fishing boat. Actually, what I did, I went and got a monster rod rack. Remember the big racks?
Yeah. Yep. That's what we had on our first.
That thing on the back of that, and immediately it was a fishing boat. It really wasn't, but no bimini top, none of the good spot locks and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just throwing that anchor and throwing caution to the wind. Yes, we had a flat bottom. It was like a 21-foot Triton 2070 center console, no seats.
Yeah.
The flat decks on the back. So we took the poles out of the fishing seats and stuck the seats right on the floor. So the kids and I could sit on that while we're going. And I'm telling you, they are not meant for any kind of wake, because if we went to the lake, holy moly, we're putting along just praying to Jesus. Keep us safe.
My second boat was a flat bottom boat. I don't know if anybody has ever had a flat bottom boat on the river on a rough day.
It's bad.
When you talking about riding a horse, it
hurts your back. Yes. That's what Charlie started in tournaments doing. And he's like, Julie, this is not safe.
Yeah.
He was taking on water for the blast offs.
Yeah. Rising sun. Oh, that's right. It scared me to death. 200 boats taking off and that flat bottom with the, beat you to death.
Yep. So I didn't want him to get a new boat because I wasn't fishing at the time. So when he wanted the G3, I'm like, you're going to have to get it on your own. I want nothing to do with this because, I wasn't fishing.
Right.
So I'm like, if you want it, you're going to have to do it all by yourself. And he did. Yep. But now here we are with the Fish Right. But,
with a brand new Fish Right boat. How you like that boat?
Oh, my goodness. You cannot put into words how smooth it is.
Well, you remember... I rode with you guys when you test drove Damien's in Mississippi River.
Yes.
We swapped out in the middle of the river. These guys are crazy. We met up with them in the middle of the river, Mississippi River. We're on, shout out Damien Clark.
Yes, Damien.
We was on Damien's. I was on Damien's boat. Yep. They were on their own boat.
Yeah.
Damien wanted them to test out this Fish Right. So he jumped off of his boat in the middle of the river into their boat. They jumped on.
Yep.
I stayed on with him. We took off. And so,
he was our passenger in the back, and we took off. And Charles was like, I don't want to he's like, no, keep going. Because we come back, he's like,
go as fast as you can. Just
and we're over here freaking out because our boat was on empty. We did not have any more fuel. We were hoping that we could make it back to the ramp actually at that same time. So we're like, well, at least we know Damien's in here if we don't make it back. But so we kept test driving it and hitting the barge wake and stuff like that. But She is so smooth.
Nice boat. It's a really
It is
nice
a phenomenal boat. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better.
Put a lot of thought into it.
Oh yeah.
I like the boat. Fish Right is a good brand.
There's quite a few people that are getting them that we've talked to.
Oh yeah. We've got a bunch. We've been trying to let people that want to try it out, that are local or if we're traveling or whatever. We were going to meet up with Roger and
Jackie.
Yeah, which Jackie wasn't there, but we were down in Louisiana, and the fish were just doing so good. Like, he'd go out before we got out because we stayed out later than they usually did. But he saw us and how smooth it was, and I know they were really liking the Fish Right boat. So he was definitely, there's just, we're happy to take people out that want to try it because there's not that many out there, and you can't just see them on an average day fishing because there's so few. Yeah. But definitely, it's growing.
Yeah, it's a good one. We got caught in the storm out there in the middle of the river that the day before the tournament pre-fishing. So we really got to test out that boat. And when I say storm, I mean it was. If Damien sees this, he'll laugh because he probably saw some fear in my eyes that day. It got as wicked and as nasty as it could be, and that boat stood strong and kept us safe. So. We
really knocked it out. We decided to go on the Mississippi, and there's barge wake, but then there's ship wake, and holy moly, that we could have never done it. I'll just say we could have never done what we were doing in a G3 running the Mississippi River, and we actually used a whole tank of gas just going and back, and I can't remember how far it was, but it was a haul. I mean, it's got a 30 gallon, 60 gallon. I don't know. It's a huge gas tank. It's on the specs on their website. But we were on E for a minute. It got us back.
We ran out on the way back also. So we had to have shout out to my girlfriend. She just happened to be not on the boat with us. She had to go to Walmart, get a couple cans of fuel, fill them up, meet us, drive. I think she had to drive like 45 minutes, meet us on the side of the river and give us 10 gallons of fuel so we could make it back.
Oh my goodness. That is wild. We thought we were going to have to do that. But
that was the first day. So the second day we figured out we took like 5 extra cans of fuel. And when we pulled in to load the boat on the trailer, literally we ran out of fuel before we got it on the trailer. Right.
Gosh, that is crazy.
Yeah, we had to crank it up on the
That's hilarious. Fun times, those are the stories that you hang on to.
For sure.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, it's definitely a good one. It's a good one. A lot better than which don't get me wrong, the G3 is great too. There's so many good fishing boats out there. It's just depending on, what you're.
It's just what fits you, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think there's no one brand or one boat that's for everybody.
Yeah.
I think just because some people have families and they need different accommodations, and some people are, 2 men only going to have 2 guys on the boat. They only need 2 seats, and they can fish different boats and have plenty of space. And it's just, I think there's a lot of different style of boats. A lot of them are good boats, and it's just a matter of what fits you. I got a smoker. I run a smoker craft. It's more of a out west kind of boat, but for me, it's got a full enclosure, permanent, and it just fits for me. So different people, different boats, whatever works.
Absolutely. One time we ran from Helena, Arkansas to Vicksburg, Mississippi for a tournament and had to bring 40 gallons of fuel with us to get back.
For sure.
That sounds like a very long ride, but
so it's like about a 3-hour ride. It sounds like. Yeah.
That's crazy. So how long have you been a charter?
I just got my captain's license February last year.
Nice.
I got my captain's license, and my birthday was February, and I got my captain's license the same week. And so I actually started chartering about 2 months after that.
That's awesome.
I've been lucky and grateful so far that I have, knock on wood, in 2025, I didn't get skunked on a charter. So everybody who's been on a charter with me at least caught a fish or 2.
Yeah, that I think is probably every charter's, like, I would think most charters' biggest fear is not catching something. I know that has to be stressful.
It's definitely, that's my biggest, getting the skunk out of the boat when somebody's paying you to put a fish in the boat it's a little bit intimidating and a little pressure on you. So, and again, you want to please everyone to get on the boat. At least want to make sure I want you to catch 20 fish.
Yeah.
If you at least catch 1 or 2, then it's a successful trip. So.
Yeah. And most people have to know you can't make them bite.
Yep. And most of them do understand. It's fishing ultimately. I think I'm going to do something this year that if you get skunked, I'm going to give you another charter, or I'm going to do something to compensate it, because I want to make sure everybody catches a fish when you go out with me. So
that's a good idea for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I like that you
it's
have
all about. It's not about the money. It's more about giving people the experience. People wonder why you charge, because fishing is expensive. It actually costs a lot of money to tackle, the time to get the bait, and you guys know
the boat, the insurance. There's so much that goes into it. It's like hard to understand.
Correct.
It's not like I have a bunch of rods, so now I'm a charter. Like the
lead
that you lose.
Gotta have commercial insurance now. Just just be able to. So that stuff is why we charge, but ultimately it's we want you to have the experience that we get every day.
Yeah, that's awesome. So did you do the online class, or did you go to the in-person class?
I did the online class, and everyone that I've talked to said the in-person is 10 times easier. The online class, you got to learn it all and study it all on your own. You don't have a teacher telling you the high points of only what you really need to know to pass the class.
Trust me, the in-person is really hard too.
Yeah.
Oh, it is, and it's interesting because the practice test, I've seen it all and stuff. It's the verbiage is so different on what you're actually learning on the practice test versus the.
They'll switch one word. They'll switch one word in what you learned. They'll change one word of it on the test, and it will rack your brain for 30 minutes trying to decipher what they mean. Like, what exactly? I know this is the answer, but when they change it, oh man, it was probably one of the toughest tests I've taken in my adult life, for sure. Yeah, for sure. It's not for the weak. I'll tell you guys, if you want to get a U.S. Coast Guard captain's license, it's tough.
And if this is just a FYI for everyone that's in here, which is, if you're fishing or you're wanting to take clients out into rivers or lakes that connect with rivers that empty into oceans, you have to have your Coast Guard 6-packs license to guide. And that is one thing that we've kind of shared before, but I'm going to say it again, is when Charlie did everything to start guiding. That's why Run and Gun was started originally, is we went through all the process with the Kentucky Fish and Wildlife. He did the background check and the CPR and their tests and whatnot. And he said, okay, what else do I need to do? And they're like, nope, you're good. And he's like, so I can start guiding? And they said, yeah. And I was like, well, we got to get insurance. So I went through and did commercial insurance and whatnot. And it wasn't until we found out through social media. Thank God we found out through social media. You cannot guide on intercoastal waters, is what it's called, without that license, because if you get caught doing that, you can lose everything. And what we did was he called whoever about that. I guess I don't know if it was like the Merchant Mariners or whatever, to verify everything, and they were like, we appreciate you letting us know, like, be glad you didn't get caught. And that's why we don't do guiding. He'll take friends out and people out and stuff as whatever, as friends, but we cannot be a guide service. So we've been asked that before, and I just feel like it's good to know, because we had no idea. We Googled it and tried to look things up, and nothing clarified that. But if you do the standalone lakes, you don't have to go through all that. Like these lakes and stuff that don't have a river, from what I understand, you can guide based off of your Fish and Wildlife.
Correct. Like a cave around in Moorhead, I believe. So places like that, I think you don't have to have a license. But any river or tributary that dumps off into other, you do have to have that Coast Guard license. And way I understand it, it's a pretty big fine if you get caught.
They can take your boat and your truck. They can take everything. So Heads
Not
up.
worth it for sure.
No,
Definitely
that's why we shut it down. Like, we stopped as soon as we found out he was done, and now, you know, we get messages still to this day asking, and that's why I tried to erase it from everything. I shut it down on Google, you know, whatever, for us until he gets it done. So one of these days.
It's doable, but it's tough.
Are you only guiding on the Ohio? I know you and I talked about that, but in case anybody's wondering, like, are you going to do trips anywhere else?
Correct. So like I told you, I just, you know, it's almost my first year, you know, for doing this. So originally I obviously wanted to start at home and kind of get a feel for, you know, the customers and how, but yeah, I do plan this year, and we'll call them specialty trips. I haven't listed them on the site. It says on my website that I will do custom trips, but I don't give prices. So we will, but I will only go to places that I'm familiar with. You know, I don't want to take you charter into a water that I have no, you know. I want to take you somewhere where I have confidence that I can put you on some fish and give you your money's worth, you know. So a couple places in Tennessee and Alabama is right now many places that I will charter to other than the Ohio River.
Yep. Does anybody have any questions for Goldie before he hops off here? I know he's got a ball game to go to.
Yeah, I got my niece is playing basketball, and I promised her I'd be at the game today, so I'm gonna see if I can catch the second half of it.
Oh, she said bye.
She said,
well, I'm done here.
Y'all ain't got no questions? I'm out of here. Yeah. All right. Well,
so she finally got Starlink because we both have bad service. There she is. Here she is. We both have bad service. I was like, girl, you have to get Starlink because, I mean, my service is bad, but not as bad. Where'd you go?
I went to click on something and it ended my thing. Like, it closed everything down.
I told her, well, you didn't, but I was like, Ashley said, bye, I'm out of here.
No, but Goldie, you're free to go. I know you've got things to do. We're just going to share our logo that we came up with real quick. We appreciate you hopping on here with us.
I appreciate the invite.
Yep. And if anybody wants a charter, go check them out. Goldfish Charters, KY.com.
Yep. Tight lines, everybody. Peace.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So if you follow, are you still on here? Did you just like get rid of your camera? Yeah.
Me? I'm here.
Yeah, I can't see you. I can't see you.
I can see me. Let me get on here. I don't know.
There you are. I don't know what it was.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't touch anything.
But we did a poll last week of some slogans to go along with a decal that we've been working on. As you know, like, nothing in this world is free. So we've been doing these StreamYards, these podcasts and stuff. It all costs money. And if we want to go to any shows to pass out flyers or anything such as that, it all takes money. And so we've decided to come up with a t-shirt design to try to raise some money. And the slogan that won, I'm going to try to share the screen here. See if I can get it.
Am I still froze, y'all?
Give me 1 second.
Dang.
Did it not work?
No, they're saying I am froze again. I don't know. I spoke up and talked about the service. Starlink heard me.
Well, it's not going to let me share it on that. So I'm going to try to do it from my phone. I don't know if this is going to work at all. But we'll post it later. And as soon as we get everything figured out.
You have to put it in front of your body.
Like that?
Yep. But stay in it or it'll blur out your phone. There you go. Yep. Now tilt it because the light.
So this is our decal. It says the last run catfish conservation, and the logo that was picked was Big Cats, Bigger Mission. So that's going to be our shirt. It'll be the small decal on the front with the big one on the back on a military green t-shirt. And our friends that do our Boots on the Water shirts are going to do those for us. So as soon as I get the final draft from him and the pricing, we will get those posted. It will be paid before you order. We can't order a whole bunch of shirts and be stuck with them because we'd be paying for them out of pocket. So if you're interested in that, look for that. We'll post it on the Last Run page to kind of keep everything neutral centered. And next week we have Bradley Cross from BJC Outdoors down in Alabama joining us. And then the following week we have Larry Gross from the Winter Whiskers tournament down in Tennessee. So a couple of good weeks coming up. You have anything, Jules? Anything fun you're going to be doing?
No. I don't. Oh yeah. Well, no, not until next month. This month, nothing really is exciting going on. We don't. Charlie's might be going to a tournament at the end of the month. But no, he talked about it, but it doesn't make sense for him to travel all that way right now.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be the King of the Green, maybe.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So we'll see. February, you guys, if you don't have this, mark your calendars. The Twisted Cat Outdoors Expo is in Memphis. Have y'all heard about that?
Yep.
It's February 20th and the 21st, I think. Let me confirm. I have a calendar here. Yeah, the 20th and the 21st in Memphis. Let me know if you guys are going. Are you guys going? Have you decided?
We haven't decided yet. Like, he's still got jobs and stuff to do. They're usually shut down for winter. And they've had so much work that they're still working. And then the weather, it just kind of all depends on where he's at with work at that time. But we're hoping to. We've talked about it. But then he also jokes that if he's going to drive 9 hours, he's taking the boat. And if he takes the boat, we wouldn't be going to a show. So
yeah, I get that for sure. Because I mean, they should have good fishing down that way with the Mississippi, right?
Yeah, because he fished that for that tournament for the MRM Memphis tournament last year.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Okay, because that's why I figured they had that tournament down there. And the other is D&D Baits or 304 Outdoors, as some of y'all may know them. They are putting a show on in Cottageville, West Virginia, February. Okay, I may get the dates wrong. They can confirm in the comments if they see this. But February 27th and 28th, I do believe. And then there's also another show that we'll be going to March 13th, 14th, and 15th, and that is in Akron, Ohio. So put that on y'all's calendars if you can hear and see me, because I don't know if I'm still lagging or not.
You should be good now. I can hear you good.
Okay. That's all I got.
We'll try to get those dates posted for people too, so that they can get those marked on their calendars for all of these shows that are coming up. It's something to do. It's wintertime.
Yep.
You can't really be outside.
You might as well spend money.
That's right. Get ready for the season.
Yes, that would be sweet.
Yep. But we better hop off here so she can get ready for church and go get dinner made. So thank you all for joining us, and we will see you next week.
See y'all.
Bye.